I am sick of all you guys ganging up on me. You guys all think you're so much better than me.
Oh, Meg, that is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
Marian is how can I say this? Marian is in a weird spot right now. I can see why people aren't too fond of this character. So, I mean, let's start the overall review. Let's start with her playstyle. Her playstyle consists of her basically being very agile, and she's a sniper with some aim. How can I say this? She has some aimbot built into her kit as well. But besides that, she's able to play at a safe distance, be at a safe range, and have very, very good options against targets that are continuously shooting at her. So she's always on the move thanks to her skills and stuff like that. We'll get to that in a minute. One of the main things I wanted to tackle really quickly before we start going into the skills and combos, etc., let's talk about her weapon that recently got changed. Actually, let's talk about it because that was unexpected. Let's look at her weapon. Her weapon is the Horn of Orca, and this weapon is pretty good, but last patch it didn't have this same how can I say this? Let me read off what the Horn of Orca does. Increases crit damage amplifier by 21% and standard ballistic damage by 4%. Also replenishes one bullet when standard shot hits a target. It doesn't matter where it hits, it just needs to hit the target. But a couple days prior, you needed to get a headshot, and it had to be from a standard shot in order for you to get your bullet back. Now, I think that's a really, really good change. All I have to do is hit the body, and now my bullet gets replenished. So that's a really, really good change for this character, and you'll see why when I talk about her skills and some combos that she's able to do. Because landing that headshot just to get just to get your bullet back was kind of tedious. I won't lie to you, man. I didn't understand it. But well, with that ran over, bro, did I just say that? With that said, bro, with that said, let's move on to her skills. A brief overview of her skills. Her cloud shot is one of her main defining skills for this character. This is the main reason that she's so agile. She's so I want to say unhittable by many bosses alike, because cloud shot is a move that it consumes one of your bullets, sure, but in return you get a sidestep shot that goes from left to right, and you also get a backstep shot. And the kicker is, once you do her cloud shot, there's this little icon that's over the enemy's head, and the next shot you do is automatically gonna aim towards that enemy. Whether or not you get a headshot is depending on luck, or if you found a way to, set it up so you get headshots. I mean, more power to you, because sometimes I just get lucky. I aim a little bit higher and then I shoot and I get headshots, so maybe that's it, but that's neither here nor there. With her cloud shot, it kind of opens up a lot of combos, and her neuronics, you want to get her neuronics into her skill first, her skill and ult, because of I think she's a main DPS. All right, let's move on to the dive bomb. The dive bomb is yeah, I don't like it, man. I'm gonna keep it real. The dive bomb is really, really underwhelming. If you're gonna run Marian Swift and you're not gonna use her as a main DPS, but you want to use her support skill instead, don't do it. Just pick anybody else. Literally anybody else. Nita does a better job. You got more, man. You got more options, because I'm gonna be honest, that dive bomb is not all that good if you ask me, but I believe it probably has some utility. This is my review, and I've only used her as a main DPS, so maybe that's gonna hinder the hinder the scales a little bit. It is what it is, man. Now let's move on to Wounded Bird. Wounded Bird, let me actually click on this one. Wounded Bird is it's a pretty decent ultimate. It does a good chunk of damage, but not really that much. That's not what it's. It does damage, but that's not its main utility. If you look at the neural skills, the neuronics, so to speak, after using Wounded Bird, Cloud Shot, and regular shots ignore 20% of the target's defense for 10 seconds. And then if you get the second one, using Wounded Bird will fully reload Marian's magazine. Now this is what ties together her whole kit and what gives her the ability to burst down bosses in a short window. If she's able to consistently get these headshots with these, standard shots, because you don't want to scope with this character too often. But there are certain situations where I think that it works, so bear with me on that. Now, how does she compare to Yao? That's a that's a good one. I have my qualms with Yao. As you can see, I actually have Yao built as well. Let me go ahead and click on her. As you can see, they both have pretty much the same attack. Marian has a little bit more defense, but as you can see, Yao is pretty much built to be a main DPS in all honesty. She also has a really good support skill, but this is not a Yao video. But we're still going to talk about her, how she compares. Now, I just listed off what Marian can do. Let me give you a brief overview. Let me give you a brief review of Yao really quickly. Not a really in-depth review, but let me give you a brief one. Yao has the ability to, pretty much do really, really insane single target damage. And it's much higher than Marian. I'm not going to lie to you, because her ultimate is really, really strong. It melts bosses, but the thing is, in her ultimate, she is not as nimble as Marian is. So that's going to cost you. If you ask me, it's gonna cost you. That's one of the things that really hurts me when I play Yao, and one of the things I miss from Marian, because Marian's so safe. She's so agile, so nimble. It's hard for, how can I say this? It's really hard to get hit. You got to try really hard to get hit with Marian if you're paying attention, I promise you. But with Yao, there were so many times I died yesterday because I thought I dodged it, but I didn't. Oh my God. But if that's the only thing you can really say about Yao, I mean, this is a really, really good character. If I had to say which one would you get, how can I say this? If I had to ask you or tell you which character to get between Marian and Yao, I would honestly say I would prioritize Yao, because she has the whole package. Support skill is good, damage is good, her longevity is through the roof. Marian right now is pretty good as a main DPS. As a sub DPS, I don't see it. I personally don't. I personally don't. All right, let's go to my overall thoughts on the character. Marian is still a solid character, a really solid character. She's a 5-star after all. She's gonna have some 5-star damage, and her skill ceiling is not too high, but at the same time, if you're not paying attention, she can die, because if you run out of cloud shots or you run out of stamina, you're kind of a sitting duck. You could die really easily, especially if you're trying to do the current neural simulation. I think that's the name of the mode, where you're fighting bosses at like level 90, and at the moment I think the highest somebody is right now is like 60-ish. So you could be careful about that. But if I had to rate Marian on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as 1 being completely unusable, awful, and 10 being best character in the game, I would probably give her a 6 or a 7, solely because you're gonna have to use her as a main DPS. I don't see the sub DPS route at all. I don't, partially because I haven't played the character as a sub DPS, so I have no real say. But that's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Well, that's pretty much it though. I'm gonna do this in one take, so if I fucked up, man, I fucked up. Well, I appreciate you guys for listening, and if you have some comments or concerns, or maybe I said something wrong, maybe I messed up, please let me know in the comment section below. Also, before anybody says anything, her cloud shots do not work with her weapon. At least as far as I tested, it didn't work. So whoever said that it did work, you're lying. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Appreciate you guys for watching, and Peace out.